Hey, I just want to check in. How are you really? Not the I'm fine you say out loud, but the quiet, tired, messy you that maybe hasn't felt okay in a while. Because if you've been carrying a lot lately, if you've felt angry, disconnected, or like you're always on edge, I want you to know that I get it. And I want to talk about that. Not in a fix you kind of a way, but in a hey, you don't have to carry this alone kind of a way. See, anger is a tricky thing. It's loud, it's intense. It makes your heart race and your jaw clench and your muscles tense. But here's the thing, anger is not always what it seems. A lot of time, anger is just grief that never got exposed, that never got expressed. It's fear that never felt safe enough to say its name. It's hurt that never found a place to land. So if you feel angry all the time, if you feel like you cannot let your guard down, if you feel like you're constantly on edge, it's not because you're a bad person, it's because you're just an angry person. And it is because something inside you is still hurting. Maybe it's the little kid inside you who learned early on that the world is not safe. Maybe it's the teenager who felt invisible or misunderstood. Or maybe it's the adult who had to be strong for too long and now feels like a live wire, one touch away from sparking. So if you've felt this, if you ever caught yourself clenching your fist, holding your breath, or snapping at someone you actually care about, I just want you to know that it's not the real you. That is just the you who's been in survival mode for too long. And maybe that's why you push people away. Not because you don't want connection, but because you've learned that connection can hurt. Maybe you've been let down too many times. Maybe you have had your trust broken. Maybe you've had to be your own protector for so long that letting someone in feels like handling like handing them a weapon. And that makes sense. Of course you would want to keep people at a distance if you've been hurt. Of course you would flinch when someone gets too close if you've had to be your own shield for too long. But here's the thing, my friend, you deserve to feel safe. Not just physically, but emotionally. Not from others, but yourself. You deserve to exist in a body that does not feel like a battlefield. You deserve to take up space without flinching, without bracing for impact, without feeling like you have to be on guard all the time. So if you're ready, just a little bit, I want you to try something. Next time you feel that wave of anger building, instead of clenching your fists or holding your breath, put your hand on your chest. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am safe now. I am allowed to feel this. And I know that sounds simple, but sometimes the smallest acts of self kindness are the hardest to offer. Look, I know letting your guard down feels risky. I know it feels like you're pulling off armor you've worn for years. I know it feels like you're giving up the only defense you've ever had. But you're not as alone as you think. You've made it this far. You have survived. You've held yourself together even when it felt like everything around was falling apart. And that is not weakness, that is strength. But strength does not always have to look like clenched fists or tight jaws. Sometimes strength is softness. Sometimes strength is letting someone in. Sometimes strength is saying, hey, I'm not okay right now, and that's okay. So if you are listening to this, if you have made it this far, I want you to know that you're not too broken. You're not too damaged. You're not unlovable. You're just someone who's been through a lot. And you deserve the chance to stop bracing for impact. You deserve the chance to rest. And you know what? Even if you're not ready to let people in, that's okay too. You don't have to rush to healing. You don't have to let down all your walls at once. But maybe, just maybe, you can start by letting yourself be human. Drop a comment if you've ever felt this kind of anger. If you've ever felt like you have to keep the world at a distance just to stay safe, let's talk about it. Let's get better together. Hi, lovelies. Thank you for watching my video. I just wanted to say that I have started a very small homegrown jewelry brand called Soji, and the earrings that I'm wearing in the necklace is from my own brand. So if you liked what I'm wearing, if you liked my jewelry, if you want to see more Korean pieces, this evil eye ring, the statement pieces and all of that, the link is in the description, and we are running heavy discounts right now. See you.